Hey there, everyone. Welcome to this week's show. I'm your host, Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy, and we're here, of course, talking about the night sky this week. All the things you can see in the sky for the week of June 7th, 2022. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great weekend. We're usually on Monday, but today we're on today on Tuesday. I was out yesterday scouting out some interesting new fields to do some stargazing in my area, and time just ran away from me, and I was like stuck in the middle of nowhere, uh, and couldn't make it back in time. But thanks for joining me. I hope you got the message that the show was postponed, and I love to see where you guys are watching. The comments are open. It's great to see everyone here. I see Dave joining us and Sunya also here, and I'd love to hear where everyone else is. Nancy just joining in from the Netherlands. Great to see you here as well, Nancy. So fantastic. All my stargazing friends from around the world. That's great. So this week, we're heading into June. This is, of course, we're heading towards the transition of seasons officially here down on our planet. Of course, this is also a transition in the sky as well from one season to the other. There is actually a transition, not just on our Earth, but also in our starry heavens as well. And this transition is happening. You can see it as a lot of the springtime constellations are bowing out in the west for those of us in the northern hemisphere. And the same thing is happening for those of you in the southern hemisphere too, where you're heading into the winter season in the southern hemisphere. So let's turn to the planetarium program and see what it has in store for us. Here we are. We've got the sky set up for Tuesday, June 7th. So wherever you're watching, this is something that you would see. And of course, before I forget, folks, keep watching, because this week, again, thanks to my publishers at National Geographic, fantastic outfit, what a great company, they are helping me give away another copy of my book, Backyard Guide to the Night Sky. This is a fantastic little guidebook that will help you get on your way and learning about stargazing, whether you're total beginner in the city, or maybe you're more advanced. You have a telescope handy or binoculars, and you're just wondering what are the things that you can see, how to get the most out of it, and understand what you're seeing in the sky, navigating, getting maybe your kids involved, learning about mythology, learning about how to do more advanced observing of galaxies and star clusters. All of that is in this guidebook. It's fantastic. It's perfect for traveling. You can pop it into your backpack as well. And it has some great sky charts you can see, and also constellations galore, specifically what kinds of things you can see inside constellations, all kinds of things. So I'm giving away another copy today. So keep watching, because at the end of the program, I'll be giving away one copy again. So let's turn to our planetarium program. Here we are back on June 7th. This is when this sky is situated right now on the screen, looking towards the southwest, western skies. What you'll notice is the moon. The moon, it's a quarter moon there, positioned right in between Leo, the lion constellation, and Virgo, the maiden, the two zodiacal constellations. You can see officially it's kind of in Virgo, the moon, but it's in and kind of at the back feet of Leo, the lion. And, there are a lot of other bright stars in this part of the sky as well that are bowing out, like I just mentioned a few minutes ago. Those of us in the northern hemisphere, their springtime skies and the winter even are long gone. We don't see any hint of Orion, the big winter constellations for us in the north, and those of you in the south, it's southern hemisphere, it's in the summer. But you have Pollux and Castor still shining very low in the west right after sunset. As the sky is just beginning to darken, you still see hints of these two stars. Capella pinning down the northwest there in the constellation Auriga. Again, this is just after sunset, so these are a little bit of a challenge, especially if you have buildings or or other things blocking your view. But those are the stars that you would see in the west northwest if you happen to have a clear view towards that part of the sky. But then, of course, the moon acts as a great guidepost for finding many different things in the sky. And over the next few days, there's no shortage of that, of course. So looking at, ahead, Wednesday, this is where the moon will be on Wednesday. Looking at that, I'll just give it a wider view there. You can see still in Virgo and will be in Thursday. Virgo is actually a pretty big constellation. It takes the moon a few days to glide through it. And here's the sky on Thursday, June 9th. And what it'll be particularly neat is that you have the waxing gibbous moon. It's heading towards a full moon next week, Tuesday. It'll be the super strawberry full moon next week, Tuesday. I'll talk more about that in next week's show. But just a hint, that's what's in store for us next week with the moon. But on its way to that full phase, it's stopping by the bright star Spica. Now, Spica is about 260 light years away. It's a distinctly bluish-hued star, and the moon will be guiding us to that star. Very interesting. It'll be paired with it. Just a beautiful pairing. Again, this Thursday, June 9th, as darkness falls. And here's a little observing challenge. How soon before sunset, before the sky starts to get dark, can you see Spica? Now, Spica is ranked as, I think it's around the 15th brightest star in the entire sky. That's incredible, thinking that it takes 2.5 centuries for the light to reach your eye from this star. So again, remember, you're looking towards the south, Thursday night, the moon is a great guidepost, and you're looking for this bluish-hued bright star. There won't be anything else bright like this stellar object there, Spica. And what's interesting also of Spica is that Spica isn't actually one star. It's two stellar giant stars very close together. We're talking about something like 18 million kilometers apart. And they orbit each other, these stellar giants do. And it's beautiful, even through, if you look at a photograph, this is by an amateur astronomer. Look at that. It's just like a stellar beacon, isn't it? A beautiful, beautiful photograph of just this lone bright star in our springtime skies. There's not many bright stars in the springtime skies, so Spica really just kind of stands out for us. And it's the brightest star in the constellation Virgo. There is, the rest of the stars that you find in Virgo, you can see right here, if I just zoom in, a lot of these points you see in this animation here, they're smaller points, right? They're fainter. Fainter stars are represented as smaller little dots on star maps, while bigger dots represent brighter stars. Makes sense, right? So Spica is this big blue bright point on the map here, and it is actually distinctly blue. And that's because it is shining with a blue light. And when we're talking about starlight and the colors of starlight, they are correlated, the colors are, to temperatures, surface temperatures of stars. So where we have our sun, which is yellowish in color, it burns around 6,000 degrees Celsius on the surface of the sun. But on the surface on Spica, we think the temperatures are much higher. We're talking over 20, 30,000 degrees, maybe even up to 40,000 degrees Celsius. And that is correlated with the color. The coloration tells us, it is an indicator of how hot the star is. So it's a giant star. We think it's about 4 times more massive than our sun, really big, and it's much brighter too. So it's burning brightly, and it's a bigger star. It really is a powerhouse of a star for us in the sky. And it is ranked as the 15th brightest. So that's where the moon will be on Thursday. Friday night again, June 10th, the moon is still hanging around Spica. So you have about 2 nights, Thursday night and Friday night, to check that out. Those 2 days will offer you great time to see the moon next to Spica. And then this is Saturday, June 11th. Now we're entering the constellation Libra, another zodiacal constellation, but a faint one. There are no really bright stars, and if you have light pollution, it's they pretty much get washed out. You need binoculars to check out these stars, where the moon will be inside Libra on Saturday, June 11th. Then it gets interesting because on Sunday, June 12th, is when the moon, the near full moon, it's the waxing gibbous moon, we call it in astronomy, will be in the claws of Scorpio. The scorpion, the giant arachnoid, a stellar arachnoid, is holding on tight between its claws the moon. It's a beautiful sight because the moon will be positioned next to another bright star. This time it's called Antares. Antares represents the heart or the eye of Scorpion, depending on the depiction. But the Scorpion's eye, say, is marked by this super bright orange giant star called Antares. Antares literally means anti-Mars, the rival of Mars. And in ancient times, Romans and Greeks thought that this really represented the antithesis of Mars, which of course is a planet, not a star. But this star, Antares, reminded them much of the planet Mars, which is also shining at a very similar hue, orangey red hue. And Antares is not a planet, but it's a star 550 light years away, and it is an orange giant star, and it'll be positioned right next to the moon on Sunday, June 12th. And then by Monday, it'll pop over to the other side of the star. So fantastic sight. And of course, let's not forget what's happening in the morning. Before I leave, I just wanted to show those of you that are up in the morning, don't miss out on this beautiful sight of this lineup of planets. And it's just going to get better. The lineup of planets is situated between the east and southern sky. I'm showing it to you like that there, as I can here, lower it down. It's really, really nice because you've got Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Those are the 5 classical naked eye planets that you can see with the eye. Even from suburban and urban conditions, if you have light pollution, you can still see these group of planets in the morning. The best time is about, I would say, an hour to 45 minutes before your local sunrise, where it gets dark enough to see it, and from the haze as well, where the sky is dark enough at that point, 45 minutes to an hour before your sunrise, to see these points of light all in a row. And it's amazing because Mercury is the closest to the sun, and guess what? That's the lowest in the sky. It's the one that is closest to the sun. There's the sun you can see that's about to rise. There's little Mercury, and then comes Venus, the second planet from the sun. Mars, the 4th planet from the sun. Then Jupiter, the 5th, and then the 6th one is Saturn. And it's all lined up for us, all of them easy to see. And the view will even get better towards the end of June. From June 17th to the 27th, the moon will be pairing up with each of these planets. A fantastic sight. I will talk more about it. Stay tuned for more information about that. So there you go, folks. A whole lineup of cool things to see. I'm hoping that you guys get to have clear skies over the next week to see some of these things. It's really cool. The moon acts as a great guidepost. Lots of fun finding things in the sky just by using the moon. And we can all find the moon pretty easily if you have even partly clear skies. So with that, it's time to talk about my book, giving away a copy of this book. So this book is out by National Geographic, available wherever fine books are sold. Of course, that means even Amazon sells it, so you can buy it online. It's ranked as one of the best-selling beginner guides to astronomy. And of course, what better publisher than National Geographic to ensure that quality that we all look for, so in the quality of a book. So I'm giving out one copy now, and it will be to the 10th person who writes out the words "the night sky." The night sky to the 10th person, and it's across Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. I'll be looking at that and announcing the winner after this show is over. With that, thank you so much for joining. I hope you guys do have clear skies and have some fun. And if you want to show your support, please do show your support by giving a thumbs up, a like to this video. And if you want to see more episodes like this, please do subscribe to my channel. It shows a lot of support, and I thank you very much for that. And share it with your friends and family. Let's get more people looking up. It's so easy to do. You can do it wherever you are and at all ages. It's a heritage that belongs to all of us, the night sky is. So with that, I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you on the next video next week. Until then, clear skies. Bye-bye.